Turn my little thing on.
The sun is high, we're feeling good. In Miami where the spirit's understood. With Bobby Phins talk leading the crew. We're gonna show you what these Dolphins do. Fins up high, the crowd's roaring loud. In the city with the blue and aqua proud. Fin stanzas here with the play-by-play. We're getting ready, it's game day. Are you ready for some football? Miami Dolphins standing tall. Are you ready for some football? Showtime at the Hard Rock, y'all. From the tailgate to the field of green with the best fans you ever seen. Bobby's got the scoop, hot off the press. In Miami, we roar to impress. Play your stats and pregame chat.
Good morning, Miami Dolphin fans, and welcome to the Fins Talk pregame show here on FTSN. I'm Bobby Fins Talk, joined always by my brother in Puerto Rico, Fins Sammy. Sammy, my man, how are you?
Doing fine. Like I said before, we will do him so much better if we were 5-1 instead of the other way. But you know, it is what it is. So let's make the best out of it. So, like I always say, at least we have each other.
At least we have each other. Everyone tuning in, just joining us. Appreciate you. Anthony Manzano in early. Appreciate you, my man. Aquavision, good to see you. Zach, always with the national days. National Chicken Fried Steak Day. Very, very interesting. Will the Dolphins be some chicken fried steak after today? We'll find out. We're going to discuss it.
Or some other way of chicken, because you know
they're going to be something chicken fried tuna,
chicken
probably
stew, chicken poop. Yeah, no, you never know.
You know, one of those two. DSG, good morning, sir. Great to see you popping in here. The 1-6 Miami Dolphins taking on the Atlanta Falcons, 3-3. To touch on that, we have some news coming in. The Dolphins posting that Tua Tagovailoa is listed on the injury report this morning with an illness. He is ill this morning. He is expected to start, but we will keep an eye on that as we get closer. The trade deadline also getting closer and closer. Who may be playing their last game as a Dolphin, who may be at the final steps here. And what's crazy is we got this game today, and then on Thursday night, we got the Baltimore Ravens. So it's a short week for Dolphin fans. It's a short week for the Miami Dolphins. So Miami, if they could easily go, if they lose this game, it could easily be 1-8 after Thursday, if it does happen. DSG, his illness equals okay. I've seen some, he just have some stomach troubles, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe they're just giving the excuses early for today. Maybe they're saying, let's do this now so we can say he was sick.
Probably the chicken.
It's probably the chicken, the chicken fried turkey, whatever he was eating. But as you can see, Finstanza's not with us this morning. He is out. He will be back later today for the post-game show. So he is just revving up. I know he's probably watching wherever he's at. So shout out to Finstanza. He'll be back with us later this evening. And Sammy, week 8, 1-6. A lot of noise this week with the Dolphins, as always. Hurricanes won last night. That's a good thing. But how are you feeling about this game today so far?
After one of the worst losses, if you ask me, that I've ever seen the Dolphins take, and probably Tua's worst game of his career, it's tough to think about what to expect today, because the Dolphins could have a bounce back game like the last time they were kind of, bounce around, like it could look more less penalties, more focus, or, here, but I'm here. Okay, I'm back. It's hard because, Stephen Ross, it's been said, like, probably, I think it was Armando, someone said that Mike McDaniel probably got an earful after that loss, because I cannot even fathom the idea of the week before Stephen Ross going to the sidelines to celebrate the Dolphins win and basically watching from the sidelines how the Dolphins blew the game against the Chargers. Last week, one of the worst losses of his tenure as owner. And this week, he's going to Atlanta, and to see the Dolphins basically, if the game mediated today, it's the same trend as last week. I don't see a way Stephen Ross can basically, stand still. I've been firmly saying he's not gonna fire Mike McDaniel because he's the one giving an extension, but it's his own mess. It's his own doing by Stephen Ross. So this game is going to tell a lot, basically, is what I'm trying to say. It's going to tell a lot. If the Dolphins get bounced around today and they humiliated again today, and they had never been a great dome team, so that kind of concerns me a lot about the Dolphins today. We might see something happen. I don't say Anthony Weaver gets fired. I don't say Mike McDaniel gets fired, but something has to get, because you cannot keep doing the same thing every single week and expect the Dolphins to react.
And it's a great point, because it depends on who you're listening to, who you believe, who you want to believe. It's been conflicting reports in regards to McDaniel's status. You have some saying that the change will be made. You have other people saying that he wants to wait, that he wants to give this guy time. I think the common theme, though, is that Ross does like McDaniel, and that's why McDaniel has survived. And I think that's one of Ross's, how do you say, flaws, is he likes people too much. He always keeps them longer than he should. And I understand some people, Adrian and Rainy Day Podcast, shout out to Adrian, who are like, hey, hold on to him till the end of the year. Don't make any changes. Of course, I'm in the opposite end of that. I'm like, make it now. And that way you could start early on the search for the next coach, the next guy. And of course, before anybody in the comments throws this out there, it's not just Mike McDaniel. Not just pinning the blame all on Mike McDaniel. He is the head coach, though, so he does get the blame. However, Anthony Weaver shares in that blame. Sorry, Miss Phins. Shout out to Miss Phins. Chris Grier absolutely shares the blame. Chris Grier needs to go, for sure. I will say, though, on the positive side for the Miami Dolphins, at least for Dolphin fans today, for those because there are some Dolphin fans, let's just be real, there are Dolphin fans that are hoping, I hope they lose today because I want them to fire everybody. Even though you can never put that trust in the Stephen Ross to actually do it. So you're just hoping for your team to lose at this point. But I understand the notion. I never do it. I want my team always to win. I want to see a win. I want to see HN have 250 yards. I want to see 7 touchdown passes. I want to see Malik Washington have a breakthrough game. I want to see 5 sacks from Chop Robinson. Because then I'm like, hey, man, these are guys for the future, So I always want to see a win. But I understand those who say, I'd rather them lose. That way we just clean house and we get an early draft pick. Because the truth is, win, lose, or draw, lose, they fall to the bottom of the basement and they get an early draft pick. And I mean, my goodness, if you're watching college football yesterday, you're salivating at the thought of any of these guys. I mean, my goodness, Fernando Mendoza up in Indiana, his brother is Fernando and Bernardo Mendoza. Bernardo Mendoza, he's not going to draft, but that dude was running all over the place. And then you go to Alabama, Ty Simpson. I mean, my goodness, it's like everywhere you turn, it's like
options.
Leonard Sellers, my goodness. All right, sell for Sellers. I mean, there's so many. So I understand that I don't shame anybody for saying, man, I'd rather we lose and get to the bottom of it, because I understand it. Because if you win, more than likely, you're going to be right where we always are, in the middle. And that's the problem with Miami. It's always right there. So I want to see them win. I understand those who say I'd rather see them lose. It is what it is. We all just want to get eventually where the Dolphins are competing. I want to say shout out to Mike Brown, who's in Orlando right now. He flew down to Orlando, but Mike, the Hebrew Hammer Brown of the Beer Sports Whatever podcast, was on with me yesterday morning on Phins Talk Today. Awesome guy. A lot of love for him. So shout out to him. We talked a lot about all this situation. He was somebody who was always very like, he would go toe-to-toe with Evan. You don't know what you're talking about. McDaniel, Tua. And then he's like, get rid of them all. He's done with them. So it's just kind of where it's at. So any update on Drake London? No update on Drake London as of now. He's questionable as far as I know. We'll wait. I think in a few minutes we should get the inactives report. But we do know that Michael Penix will not start today. He is out. Kirk Cousins will get the start. And so that's you go, oh, Michael Penix is out. Good. That's a good thing. You're Kirk Cousins. You're like, well, shoot. He might not be able to run on us, but it might be one of those days. Scotty,
Yeah,
morning, sir.
breaking news: Drake London out today for
There you go. There's your answer. So Drake London out for the Atlanta Falcons. So there you go. Sammy is jumping in and out. And let me make sure I got it. That's why I need to have my phone in front of me. Tati's going to yell at me, but she don't get it. But Scotty, I always want to win, but I understand those fans that prefer us to lose at this point. 100%, Scotty. I get it. Happy Wolverine. Good morning. Phins are getting smoked by Atlanta today. Maybe, just maybe. Maybe, just maybe. But we'll see. Because I was going to say, this might be a game where Miami, with everything, because you have to think, realistically, the way Miami's been playing with running backs, the third stringers, the second stringers, more than likely, Bijan Robinson is going to have himself a monster day with this defense. And the inconsistency of Tua and the offense, maybe, just maybe, they do, right? However, you have to believe, or you have to have it in the backyard somewhere, that Miami, with their backs up against the wall, are going to try to have their best game today. This seems like a game where it's like, realistically, you're like, that's a loss, dude. Come on. And then you're like, but wait a second. What if Miami, with all the talk about getting fired, all the talk about being benched in the second half, all the talk about the structure of the organization split, Tua throwing people under the bus. My goodness, Aaron Donald, a future Hall of Famer, coming at Tua, saying teammates don't like him. Matt Ryan with him on that, kind of saying, just play good, stop talking and play, which is true.
Yes.
Which is true. It's very easy to say, oh, those guys, these guys, bam, 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 bam. But dude, you're playing like ass. Maybe, just maybe, all that talk, the Dolphins come back and rally and have themselves a game. I know. Am I dreaming, though, Sammy? Am I dreaming? Could that happen today, do you think?
I just got a message from my co-host on Phins TV Plus, Eddie Chavo, saying, but we were feeling the Dolphins will win today. I'm not feeling it. I had them getting blown out today. But it will not be, it will be so Dolphins, like that phrase that the Dolphins find a way to win today, that they will have to stop the run. You have Kirk Cousins trying to prove himself, trying to see if he can have a good game, maybe get out of Atlanta with a trade. So many things going down with the Dolphins today. It's not impossible for the Dolphins to go up to Atlanta and win that game. I personally don't see it. I don't see it either. If he have first legs, moves the tail and barks, he's a dog. He's not a dinosaur. So the Dolphins, by now we know what they are. The Dolphins are a dog right now. There's no way they're gonna go to Atlanta and become something they had not been. And now with Tua, sick. Like I called it the other day. I think it was on Phins TV Plus. With Brett, I said that the one way of finally benching Tua is that phantom injury, the phantom injury. So all of a sudden he's in the injury report, and that way you're not benching him, but he's not okay to play. So it's very convenient that I'm not saying that's the case, but it would be very convenient if he's not having a good game to say, oh, he's not feeling well. Let's send him to the bench in the second quarter. So I don't expect it. I'm not saying you're crazy, because it's not out of the realm of possibility to.
And again, I'm not saying they're going to win. I'm just saying could that be the case with backs up against wall? But Happy Wolverine is throwing all, is right on though. Again, look what they did to Allen. But again, I thought Myles Garrett was going to kill Tua. I thought that was it. But maybe, just maybe, it happens.
And to be fair, Atlanta's one of those teams that's displaying to the level of the opponent. Sometimes that happens. A team is good but not great, and play okay against the Panthers and play great against the Bills. So it's not impossible for them to be actually a close game. But the Dolphins had to find a way to stop Bijan Robinson. So and they're not being able to stop backup running backs. So I don't see that happening.
Exactly. No, I mean, my goodness, if backup and third stringers could do that to Miami, you know damn well Bijan Robinson is more than likely going to have himself a freaking game. Russ Morgan, our resident Jets fan here on the network, he says, goal, Jets draft Indiana's quarterback Fernando Mendoza from Miami and torments the Dolphins for with the hometown boy for the next decade. Yeah, that would be so Dolphins. I hope the Jets win all the games and draft.
Sorry, Ross, will be first time ever the quarterback torments the Dolphins. I don't know how many years, because the list is long of quarterbacks that go to the Jets and don't have success. And you know what happens. So,
Let's be real, brother.
You know, that's kind of it.
But Russ, man, what a day of college football. You know, I mean, my goodness, everybody. It was Vanderbilt. That was a good, fun game. South Carolina, Alabama was a great game. A lot of fun, man. A lot of fun. And of course, the U winning it, love it. They were down 7-0. I'm like, oh, here we go again. And all of a sudden, I 28. I'm like, love it. I'm going to be in Atlanta. I'm going to be Atlanta's #1 fan today. I'm available for an interview, Sammy. Oh, I see it. There you go. There you go. Who knows? Exactly. That's the thing. I mean, you think you know the answer. You think you know the answer. Like, oh, this guy's QB1. And then you see this other guy, you're like, well, damn, hold on a second. Wait a minute. It's that song. Hold up. Wait a minute. So, but my goodness, Russ. So Russ is our Jets fan, of course. He is it like what? Doesn't the Jets have the #1 pick? If it ended today, Miami has the #2. I think that's how it is right now, which is hilarious, you know. But we'll see how that plays out. Let me go ahead and look here. Sammy breaking it that Drake London is out today for the Atlanta Falcons. And here are the game inactives for the Miami Dolphins. Let me go ahead and pull this up here. So today is inactives: Elijah Campbell, Juju Brents, Jordan Colbert, Taj Washington, Julian Hill, Zeke Biggers, and today's emergency quarterback, Quinn Ewers. So Zach Wilson will be your #2 today. So last week, Quinn Ewers was your #2. He came in for 2 after 2 was benched. This week, Zach Wilson will be our #2, and Quinn Ewers will be the emergency third quarterback. Very, very interesting. And a team that obviously doesn't know what the hell they're doing or what their identity is. Sammy, your reaction to the inactives and, of course, Zach Wilson being active for today.
So 2 things come to my mind. I don't know how Ross feels about this, but I know a lot of Jets fans have been feeling like Zach Wilson has been a #2 for a while now. So, you know, if you know what I mean. And who would have thought that we'll be worried about? The days are here where Julian Hill not playing is kind of worrisome, because Julian Hill was, you know, the pen is actually playing better. He's, you know, the Dolphins right now very thin at tight end with him out and you know, and with the injury before. So, you know, it's worrisome, the Dolphins, you know, right now very thin at tight end. So that's some things that pop up to me, because, you know, at least in the running back, Julian Hill is very, very, you know, important in the running game. So that's another sting for the Dolphins.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll tell you, the list doesn't bother nor surprise me at all. I will say though, just the flip of the quarterbacks from emergency, you know, I don't know if it goes game by game. I don't know if what they saw with Quinn Ewers they didn't like from last week. I know fans were going to love that one play. To me, it's like, you know, they don't know what's going on there, but it is what it is. We'll see. Hopefully, because, you know, if Tua struggles again, will we see Zach Wilson today? Does Zach Wilson have a better outing? You know, I don't know. We'll go in. Scotty says, Bobby, I moved Kirk Ferentz up my list for head coach. What he does in Iowa is awesome. I would pay money to steal him. There you go. Awesome, man. I'm going to write his name down so I can look it up, brother. You know, Mike Brown of Beer Sports, whatever. He is really in on Chris Shula. Really in on Chris Shula.
So is George from Phins Faithful. I don't see it, but yeah.
Again, you know how I feel, brother. I'm all about the experienced guy. I'm you know, it's going to be a hard sell for me with any first timers or, you know, first time NFL head coaches. Chris Shula, I get it. I mean, the #1 defense or the, you know, top defense in the NFL coming out of the Rams right now. he has the name. You pair him possibly with Mendoza, who's from Miami, with Cuban grandparents. I mean, it's all nostalgic and all, whatever. But at the same time, it's a rookie coach. At the same time, I mean, you look at the talent he has there. I was a big Braden Fisk guy, and you got Verse there as well. I mean, but again, I can be talked into it, but I want the veteran guy. At this point, I want all rookies active and getting sent back. Biggers needs to be playing. I'm with you, Scotty. I think as we get close, if Miami loses today, and again, you more than likely may lose against Baltimore with Lamar Jackson, and that's something to keep an eye on too. What's going on in that situation? There were some oddities yesterday. Lamar was practicing, but he will miss today's game, and then he'll be active against the Dolphins. What the hell is going on with the Baltimore Ravens? That's just something to keep an eye on. But Scotty, I think eventually, yes, after today, possibly Thursday, we should be seeing all of the rookies getting some time, because at that point, what's the point? Scotty, when would you like to see most of the rookies, if not all of them, getting the opportunity to get some playing time in? Would Scotty saying at this point today they should? I'm thinking after Baltimore, if it is going the way it is. Where do you stand on that?
I think after the Spain trip, basically, everything, is the white flag is already, basically in the poll. You just need to raise the white flag. But since this team won 8 of 9 games when Flores was here, there's so many people that had hope, but circumstances are very different this time. That it's very complicated in that regard. So for me, after the Spain game, it's basically a bye. A lot of change had to be coming to the Dolphins. I don't know if it's a coaching change might happen. I don't think it will. But after the Spain game, all hands on deck, because by then this season is over, and we'll have to see what happens in the trade deadline, because trade deadline is next Tuesday. So the Dolphins have a mini bye since they're playing on Thursday. So a lot of changes could come by after Thursday with the. I don't expect the Dolphins to, as fans, sometimes we expect some of trades and they don't happen. When we're winning, we expect the Dolphins to make 2 or 3 trades. That never happens. And we might be expecting the Dolphins to trade Jalen Phillips, Bradley Chubb, etc., and that might not happen either. I don't expect Waddle to be traded either. So, but after Thursday, we're going to have a better picture of what the Dolphins are going to do going forward.
And here are the inactives for the Atlanta Falcons, just so it's all confirmed here. Drake London, which Sammy's brought up. Drake London is out, their star receiver. Michael Penix out. So Kirk Cousins will be getting the start today. Jalen Walker, Billy Bowman Jr., Michael Jarwell, LaKyle London, and Zach Harrison all out for the Atlanta Falcons in today's game against the Miami Dolphins in the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Shout out to all Dolphin fans who are attending the game today. Ashley and Lou, 305 Sports Babe, and Lou from Dade there as well, leading the group. Very cool. Let me see. I make sure I'm not missing anything here. Perfect.
Yeah.
But
that 2 in a row matchup of 2 lefties is done historic for 2 weeks in a row, having lefties playing against each other out the window with Penix out. So a lot of people were expecting to be historic, because just having 2 left-handers playing against each other on consecutive weeks, it will be a rarity probably never seen before. So with Penix out, Kirk Cousins gets a start.
There you go. And let me ask you very quick, and I'm going to get some of these comments too out of the way, but with Kirk Cousins getting the start, do you feel better or worse for Miami's chances today? Or does it matter?
I feel worse. I seen Penix has some flashes, but he's still developing. Kirk Cousins is the kind of quarterback that, he's going to be prepared. He's basically auditioning to see if he can get out of Atlanta. I don't think he's going to get traded, but you never know. So, yeah, he should be motivated to show the team and whoever's looking that he still got it. So, these kind of opportunities for someone like Kirk Cousins, who was established, who went to Atlanta, I think he was going to be the starter. He signed a very big contract, and then all of a sudden they draft a quarterback and basically stuff him before him. He has a prideful guy. He's been there. He's made a lot of money. Kirk Cousins is a businessman. He's a guy who made a lot of money during Atlanta. So now and should be frustrated. So I'm sure he's gonna find a way to make the best out of it, and expect him to have a very good game today.
Yeah, I don't. I feel about this, and because I think Miami would have had a tough time with Michael Penix and with Kirk Cousins, and that's one thing the Atlanta Falcons did so right, and I think Miami should do as well. No matter who's QB1, just go get a QB2 where when that QB2 starts, you're like, we're still good, because Kirk Cousins is a starter on a lot of other teams.
Yes,
possibly could be a starter in Atlanta, but he's the backup there. And I mean, my goodness, you could put him right now, possibly in the Dolphins, and he's a starter. I mean, he's the starter. Russ Morgan now, Mel Kiper saying Mendoza, Ty Simpson, and Dante Moore are the number one guys there. Who the hell is Mel Kiper? Yeah, right. I'll tell you this about Zach Wilson. 1 week he will look like the best quarterback in the NFL. The next he has 4 picks. That's Russ.
Who's that?
Morgan. Russ talking about Zach Wilson, of course. The Jets drafted him. Ewers, DSG says play Ewers today. Ewers is inactive. He's the emergency quarterback, so we will not see him play unless Tua goes down and Zach Wilson goes down. Then we will see Ewers. But Ewers is inactive today. Yes, it says illness. He is on the injury report. So we will follow that as it comes along. Let's go ahead here. Don't forget, you guys are watching. See a lot of people jumping in. We appreciate you guys all watching wherever you're watching from. If you're watching on Twitch, YouTube, FTSN1, FTSN Extra, or Facebook, we appreciate you watching. It's Bobby Finstock. We're joined always by Finn Sammy of Phins TV. Go check out Phins TV Tuesday nights. The crew there with Sammy, kill it every Tuesday. Go like and subscribe to the channel. Let's see here. And you can follow us, of course, at Finstock Network on X. And you can follow, got it here. You can follow me at Bobby Finstock, Finn Stanza, who's absent today. Shame. And Finn Sammy. 2 S's. I always mess that up when I'm looking at this thing. It's Finn Sammy. It would have been clever to have been Finn Sammy, but it's Finn's Sammy. Go make sure you check him out. Before we roll on here, get out of the way and go around the league.
Yeah, but I would have been Finn's Sammy.
I know. Yeah, or Finn Sammy. Finn Sammy or Finn Sammy. Would have been something somebody would have said something. So, but we'll go around the league right now and go with our predictions. I am very proud. Last week had a good week in the Fins TV Pick'em. I moved up to 4. I was like at 15. I jumped up to 4. I'm looking at that top spot, brother. Because to be the man, you got to beat the man. Woo! Baby, I'm the man.
And that's the great thing about the Fins TV Pick'em League. You can have a couple of good weeks and you're back on top. Like our friend Adrian, we talk about Adrian, you too. Adrian made a huge move from the 20s, a couple of good weeks, and now he's at the top 10. So anything can happen in the Fins TV Pick'em League.
It's like it's a chase, dude. It's like that's why. Let me just say that those who participate in the Pick'em League, make your picks. Stop forgetting. Do it. I mean, my goodness, I always make sure I try to jump a week ahead, and if I have to update it, I update it. But I'm always like, I'm in on this. Trust me, I didn't get pissed when I felt
change
bad.
Your last minute. Change your last minute. You make picks ahead,
bro. But I'll say,
just change it for sure. That's a good idea.
I do take it very, when I see that I've dropped, like when I dropped to 15 or whatever, I was legit. I was like, oh, that's bullshit. I was mad. I looked at everybody up on top, like I looked at them all with anger. I'm like, whatever, dude. I hope you forget like 3 weeks in a row. Like I was like, getting all angry. So just saying. Anyway, let's roll. I know that I got one right this week, and that was the Chargers over the Vikings, 37-10. I picked that one, so I'm right on the money with that. So let's go around the league here, and let's do our pick 'em live here on the Finstock pregame show. Sammy, the Cincinnati Bengals, 3-4, taking on Russ Morgan's New York Jets, who are 0-7. Can Russ celebrate a win today? Does the chase for Mendoza take a hit?
I think it takes a hit. I'm supposed, let me check a little bit more because I'm not completely sure who I picked, but I know how I feel right now. I have the Bengals winning, but I think they can win, but I still have the Bengals winning just because the Bengals have played hard. Joe Flacco for sure, he found a way to, to beat the, I'm sorry, who did it?
Steelers.
The Steelers, yeah. I hate the Steelers. Probably that's
I'm
why
with you, bro. I got you.
so, yeah, so right now they're a much better team on the field. I don't know with so many. If you look at the chart of the injuries per team, the Jets, the Dolphins, and the Bengals are in the top 5. They lost a lot of people to injury, so it can go either way because I don't think the Jets are supposed to be this bad. And with Tyler Taylor at quarterback, anything can possible. I think he gives them a better opportunity to win, but I'm still gonna pick the Bengals.
I have the Bengals as well. But I will say, again, and shout out to Joe Flacco, man. That dude, he was sitting on the couch last year and then comes back in and has a strong, and then you see what he does now. And of course, it's just ridiculous. But I do have the Bengals winning this game, but I don't sleep on the Jets. As much as I hate the Jets with a passion, and I love watching them lose, but I'm really mad that they could be in the number 1 pick and get one of these guys, whoever quarterback they get. I hope they mess it up. I hope they get somebody like, from some random school. But, but again, Aaron Glenn, I like what I heard from Woody Johnson about putting his, stamp, giving his patience to his coaching. How can you coach with that type of quarterback? I'd love to see our owner do that. I'd love to see our owner come out and make some really definitive statement about anybody. How can you win games with that quarterback? Like, oh, damn, we know we're getting a quarterback. How can you win games with that type of DC? Oh, they're going to fight a DC. I would love to see that, but we won't. He just does this and does this. Oh, man, and walks in the locker room. That's our owner. But anyway, I have the Bengals as well. We move on, staying within the AFC East and the AFC North. The Cleveland Browns, 2-5, who beat the Dolphins. Beat them down. The stupid 2-5 Cleveland Browns travel to the Patriots to New England to face the Patriots, 5-2. Can the Browns upset the Patriots, Sammy? Could it happen?
On a short answer, no. But I have to tell you this. It's been talked so much about the Dolphins schedule, and every single year they had not beaten anyone with a winning record, and the Patriots are basically the same team. That schedule, the Patriots, they had the Bengals coming up, they had the Giants coming up, they had the Jets coming up, they had the Ravens. We'll see how healthy the Patriots and the Jets again. So if the Jets basically are in it to win it at the end of the season for the division, I expect the same treatment for them that they gave us. They had not beaten anybody by the end because they will have to beat the Buccaneers. I don't think they will. The Falcons, who knows, and they have to beat the Bills again. So, when the Dolphins beat teams that are bad, you can see the media everywhere saying, "No, the Dolphins had not beaten anybody." If the Patriots have a winning record, a good record, that doesn't mean they're a great team. They basically find a way to beat the Bills. But I'm not yet ready to crown them. So they're going to win today, but I had to take that shot because I see so many people already saying, "No, they're so great. They overlapped us." They have right now the better quarterback. I have sad to say, and they for sure have the better coach.
Better coach for sure.
That for sure. But I'm not ready to crown the Patriots. So it's still a way to see for me. But they beat the Browns today. I'm Foxborough for sure.
You got to do your Dennis Green impersonation. If you want to crown their ass, crown their ass. They are who we thought they were. We got them the hook. There you go. See, you know what I'm talking. R.I.P. Dennis Green, right? R.I.P. I got the Patriots as well. They're going to go 6-2. They won't do what the Dolphins did. They'll get the job done. The Philadelphia Eagles taking on the New York Giants. The Giants with Scatabo, and does Jackson Dart starting, right? I'm pretty sure he's starting.
Yeah, it probably is.
Do you have the Eagles taking down the Giants, or do the Giants upset the Eagles?
It will be an upset of humongous proportions if the Giants go right now and find a way to win in Philly. I know Philly's not completely healthy and they have their issues too, but they know how to win. They know how to beat the Giants, so I expect them to win for sure.
So I have the Eagles as well. I know right now the hype train is behind the Giants, but that's more future hype. That's more to what this team could be with Scatabo, Dart, Abdul Carter. I mean, you know, you would, if you're a Giants fan, you got to feel pretty freaking good about your future. I'll tell you what plays in their favor. Yeah, the hype goes in their favor, but it's a divisional game. These are the games where an upset could happen, where this puts the Giants on the map for the future, where he's like, damn, they beat the Eagles. You know damn well this team's going to be really good next year. I don't have it picked. I have the Eagles winning today's game, but I could absolutely see the Giants upsetting the Eagles today with everything that's going on. Carolina Panthers have had a very good year so far, a surprising year considering they are, you know, the Panthers at 4-3. You know, of course, they came back and beat the Dolphins. It's just one after the other. It's just been a fun year for Panther fans because I mean now you're starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel. You're like, wait a second, could this be? Did we get the right coach? Wait a second, did we get the right QB? Maybe, just maybe. They got the Buffalo Bills coming to town at 4-2. The Buffalo Bills trying to keep up with the New England Patriots, who more than likely will win today. But in Carolina, can the Panthers upset Buffalo?
I don't think they will, but if it happens, I would love to see that burn because, you know, Bills fans, they have one of the easiest schedule right now in the league for sure going forward. So if they lose to the Panthers and the Patriots win today, it's going to be a mess in Buffalo because that fans have been so accustomed to, you know, for the last couple of years to, you know, to overcome adversity. Remember that year we were ahead and they found a way to win. So they basically right now feel invincible. So if they lose today to the Panthers, it will be very interesting in Buffalo because I don't think they will lose. I expect them to win it in Carolina, but it will be very interesting if they find a way to lose today to a Panthers team that, you know, it still doesn't have an identity. Like you said, the coach, do you have the right coach? Is Bryce Young the quarterback we need him to be? But, you know, it will be very interesting if they lose, but I don't think they will. I expect the Bills to win the game.
Yeah, I got the Buffalo Bills as well, but I'm with you. The Panthers seem to be finding their glitch now, their identity with themselves, and they're playing tough, man. They're a tough team to play, and they got fight. That's the thing. They got some fight in them that they could come back and win or figure out ways to win. Chicago taking on the Baltimore Ravens. Ravens, of course, face the Dolphins on Thursday night. Lamar Jackson was supposed to play today. He won't. He's out. Fishy. No pun intended. But he will play Thursday night. Chicago 4-2. They're having themselves a year taking on the 1-5 Baltimore Ravens. Something's going on there, but I've got the Bears going into Baltimore and winning this game. Am I wrong?
I had the Bears winning, and I gave a lot of thought though. Why is he ready to play on Thursday and not today? But it kind of makes sense because if you bring in a quarterback back from injury, you don't want to expose them to, you know, a game in 4 days later. So it kind of makes sense. They basically they will have to rally to find a playoff spot. So they have to be looking forward. So it and probably Lamar wants to play. When he plays in Miami, it's been said that he gets tickets to a lot of family. There was a year they say they had basically a half of the section at Hard Rock Stadium with so many fans, so many family members, so many friends. So he probably wants to be healthy. He probably wants to look good on Thursday. But I don't expect the Ravens to win. I expect the Bears, who have been kind of consistent too, to find a way to go to Baltimore and win the game.
And I will say too, I mean, it could be Lamar or the Ravens, even though, you know, there's rumors that could it be a split? Could Lamar be the one that says, I'm not playing today? Who knows? But all I know is that, or at least what I think is, could it be where Lamar says, or the Baltimore Ravens look and they go, hey, look, you know, take another week. The easier game here would be against the Dolphins. Take a few more days, come back on Thursday and have yourself a big game. And then let's start our run back. Because they are 1-5, they'd be 1-6. So they're still, they could go 11-6, they could go 10-7. They're still on that, in that stratosphere. San Francisco 49ers 5-2, taking on the 2-4 Houston Texans. Can the Texans get a win here? Can they defend their home turf and get a win over San Francisco?
The Texans are another team that's basically inconsistent. A lot of expectation for the Texans this year. And CS Stroud doesn't look better right now than than Bryce Young. That's something that we never thought we'll see, because Bryce Young have been playing CJ Stroud this year. So it's confusing time in Houston. And the 49ers for sure is the epitome of next man up. They could keep losing people, and someone comes and plays good. That's a franchise who's with stability for sure, with a head coach that knows what he's doing. So I expect the 49ers to win on Houston today.
See here, Raphael, I see your question. We will get to it in just a minute.
Yeah. So
Right. So I think that would be a fun kind of thing to do there. I got the 49ers as well. Somebody threw a comment out there yesterday on, I don't see it happening at all, because I'd be shocked. But what if DeMarco Ryans got fired? Would you be interested in him? I said in a heartbeat. If DeMarco Ryans was available, I'd be really interested.
He's in the short list for sure. There's no way he's not in the short list.
Absolutely. Like, you have to consider.
Yes.
But I highly doubt he'll be available.
That would be the kind of interest. That would be the kind of interview that we'll have to go with. Okay, who is in your Rolodex to be the next offensive coordinator of the Dolphins? Because again, that's the problem with defensive guys. Can they build an offensive staff that overcomes the fact that they are so knowledgeable on the defense and they know what they're doing? Because that happened with Flores. Any defensive guy, is either Shula or whoever the Dolphins bring, I will have to, as a donor, as the GM, whoever that is, to be sure who will you bring into.
And that is an awesome
of the Miami Dolphins going forward.
That's such a great point. And that's why, again, I want a guy who, I know I want an experienced veteran guy. Can't say that enough. However, I want a guy who plans on being the head coach, not head coach / defensive play caller, head coach / offensive play caller. Unless you're Andy freaking Reid, maybe Doug Peterson. I think John Gruden would be that type of guy. Sean McVay. Unless you're that dude, I want a guy who says, I'm the coach, I'm going to hire an OC, I'm going to hire a DC, and they're going to call the plays. I'm going to delegate, and I'm going to be the head football coach. That's who I want. John Harbaugh type guy too. John Harbaugh was a special teams coach. He has his, he's watching. That's who, that type of guy. But that's the type of coach I want. I'm done with the guys who are, I don't want, whether it's Chris Shula calling defensive plays, and then when the offense is out in the field, he's doing whatever with the defense. I want him focused on the team. I want him focused on the game. Because if even you look at Andy Reid is watching the game when the defense is out there, and then when the offense, he's calling plays. Andy Reid is Andy Reid. He could do it. He's afforded it. He's earned it. Mike McDaniel needs to focus on the team. His whole team is an issue. So whoever the next guy is, that's what I want. I mean, look at Mike Vrabel. Vrabel is that guy. Vrabel, he's a head football coach. He's focused on the whole team. He's watching the offense. He looks like he's calling offensive plays. He's hands on his knees watching it, going crazy. And then when the defense is out there, he's doing the same thing. That's the type of head coach the Dolphins need. We need a head football coach, not a defensive or offensive guru, quote unquote, because they never really are, being the head coach. Go ahead, Sammy. I'm sorry. I know you want to say something.
If he stands to what, I'm sorry, I interrupted you. I'm sorry.
No.
If he stands to what's here, there will be on the 20 mentions of Mike McDaniel already, but I think this is going to be the first one. We're basically going to talk about it. But Mike McDaniel was a run game coordinator. He wasn't an offensive coordinator. When you're an offensive coordinator, you had to basically be kind of a head coach, because you had to be accountable for the team's default. The plan is on you. You had the responsibility. Mike McDaniel never had that. Mike McDaniel was a run game coordinator. So we even jumped the face of having a coordinator being the coach of the Dolphins. We had he wasn't even the offensive coordinator when the Dolphins made him the head coach. So someone like Andy Reid, someone Sean McVay, guys who are invested on offense but know how to deal with the defense. It will have to be someone really, really experienced, either offensive coordinator or defensive coordinator, but someone who has the experience to know how to deal with the defensive side of the ball too. And Mike McDaniel never had that, being a run game coordinator. But it had to be someone really special. I heard someone named Anerumo as a candidate for the Dolphins, and you mentioned the chief defensive coordinator. The name escaped my mind so many times.
Steve Spagnuolo.
Yeah, Spagnuolo. Yeah, those guys know defense. Those guys had the experience to probably call the defense and also had the responsibility of knowing what to do with the offense. It's different because they have the experience. When you're really inexperienced, that's a completely different topic. So
100%.
So he's a defense coordinator with experience that's been there for a while, that knows how to deal with the offense. I would not mind him calling his side of the ball. But when you have no experience, as you know, being a coordinator for 2 or 3 years is a completely different deal. Being the head coach and being the coordinator, so I will take it case by case. And you know, Harbaugh, that will be my choice. I will trade a lot for him. I don't know how much it will take, but we already gave a 1 1/3 for a coach we didn't get. So
yeah,
everything's on the table right now.
Yeah, I hear you. And again, if you know, we don't know what's going to happen to Baltimore. All eyes are on it. Whether that is, you know, people are like Lamar, which I highly freaking doubt. I don't ever see an owner picking the coach over the start QB. But I'm with you, and that's my fear with some of these. And it's true. McDaniel really did not. He was a run game coordinator. I think he was made the by name only OC.
Yeah, but
kind of like what Frank. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's basically Frank Smith. He's Frank Smith.
Yeah.
He was Frank Smith. So he didn't really have the opportunity to do that. So of course he got that chance in Miami. And again, that's why I like people. Oh wait, watch him go somewhere else, and he's gonna be great and whatever. More than like maybe he will. You know, I'll root for him. I really would. I'm not happy with him now, but I know he's a good guy. You know, he's in. You know, it's just it's too much. It's too much. The team is lost, and he is the head guy. You know, I think the best move for him would be a fresh start, be an OC somewhere for a couple seasons for, you know, kick ass, because he probably will, because he'll get his footing back and whatever. And then he'll be a head coach somewhere else. And he'll probably will be successful, because then he knows, wait a second, last time I did this, I can't do that. I have to be a little more firm here. You know, he has to make up for it. Now, for the next guy, again, everything you say, I'm right with you, and that's what I want. I want a guy who's going to be delegating tasks and moving on. The one guy that, and I understand the Chris Shula thing. I'm hearing a lot of Dolphin fans starting to turn on that. Of course, you hear Shula, and they're like, oh, that would be cool. Wow, Don Shula's grandson is the head coach of the Miami Dolphins. That's the coolest thing. And you know what? He's a pretty damn deep coordinator. Wait, that makes sense. But again, I'm a little, you know what I mean? I'm a little, but maybe, just maybe, he sees McVay, and he knows what to do. Again, if you're talking rookie guys, I'm talking about a guy who's a former player in this league. I'm looking at those type of guys. Hank Fraley, he is the offensive line coach and a run game coordinator in Detroit. That's one guy that I would love to see get an interview. But again, I'm all about the vets, the experienced coaches. Let's stay going around the league here. We sidetrack here, but you know, if Evan was here, we'd be going another 30 minutes talking about it. Just kidding. All love, Evan. We just messing with you. Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on the New Orleans Saints, who are 1-6. I got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Who do you got, Sammy?
Let me get it. I had the Buccaneers. The Saints probably are the worst team in the league. If they were competing for someone, you know, no one says that the Saints are tanking. You know, that only applies to some teams, because, you know, the Saints are bad, and they will probably get, if you ask me, they're gonna probably get the top overall pick, unless they beat the Dolphins at Hard Rock Stadium at the end of November. But that game might be for the first overall pick. We never know. But I'm
telling you guys, I don't know. It just hit me. You know, I know a lot of people are talking about, you know, name that for Dolphin fans, or that's going around now, and I don't hate it. I don't. It's not my first choice, but I don't hate it. You know, Mike McCarthy. That's a name that's been brought up. Well, if Mike McCarthy is possibly the next head coach, if that happens, if he's the head coach of the Dolphins, who's the OC? Could it be the head coach of the New Orleans Saints right now, Kellen Moore? Could he be one and done? That's possibly, you know, maybe. So just throwing that out there. Dallas Cowboys 3-3-1, taking on the Denver Broncos 5-2. Man, I got the Cowboys beating Denver today.
Before I said that, Kellen Moore was a finalist for the Dolphins jobs.
He was.
He's shocking to get fired. He goes back to the Dolphins to get coach of the Dolphins. You never know, because he was a finalist. It was very close.
Well, I'm going to say offensive coordinator. I didn't say head coach. Offensive coordinator.
That's what I'm saying. You know, you call him an offensive coordinator, but you never know. He might end up being the coach of the Dolphins. He gets fired. You never know. I have the Broncos winning, but it's a flip flop, because I'm just gonna give it just because of I believe in Denver's home field advantage. The altitude's always, and when they have a good enough team with that altitude, but they find a way to squeaker against the Giants, so anything's possible. I'm not as confident as I will be if they would have won that game handily, but they find a way to come back, and it started comeback for them last week. So I had the Broncos, but I don't feel good about it. But I had the Broncos.
So that's our first split. I think that's our first split.
I might decide the pick and league this week. That's a toss-up game for sure.
Yeah, that's right. There it is.
Not
That's
me,
the one.
I was third, and now for like 10 minutes I was third one week, and now I'm all the way to the back. So that happens. I'm not playing, but I'm still there. Yes.
Yeah. Tennessee Titans taking on the Indianapolis Colts, 1-6 versus 6-1. Listen, I live in Tennessee. I know much these fans love the Tennessee Titans. The Tennessee Titans have the brand new stadium coming up. I've seen it. It's getting there. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be a beautiful stadium, and I look forward to sitting in there. Cam Ward, I'm always rooting for. That's a Miami Hurricane, so I do root for him. However, there's no way they win today. They'll be 1-7. The Colts will win easily, and they'll be 7-1.
I'm gonna stop betting against betting. I don't bet, picking against the Colts just because that offensive line, sets the tone for that team. They're really playing inspired, really playing well. I'm not gonna even call this a trap game. I have no expectation of the Titans winning, so I have the Colts winning handily against at home against the Titans.
Yes. You got the Sunday night game, Green Bay Packers taking on the Green Bay Packers, who were 4-1-1, taking on the 4-2 Pittsburgh Steelers. I have Green Bay. Do you have Pittsburgh?
I have Pittsburgh with the term and conditions that if they lose this game, they're on fraud alert. So I'm gonna pick the Steelers just because I expect Aaron Rodgers to be motivated, and just because of that. But if they lose, they're on fraud alert for me. So they better win tonight.
There you go. And then the Monday Night Football game, the 3-4 Washington Commanders taking on the 4-3 Kansas City Chiefs. I've got the Chiefs. Who do you got?
The Commanders are the epitome that just because you have one season doesn't mean you change the title of the franchise. So they better get back on the winning track, because right now the season they're not looking as good as last season, even with some of the issues. I know they have injuries, but I don't think the former Redskins against the Chiefs, that will be a battle on all times. But right now I have the Chiefs winning handily. By the way, I expect them to win handily.
There you go. So there's our pick'ems for this week. We'll see how it plays out. If you want to see how the rankings look, go check out Phins TV on Tuesdays. Amazing production, and Sammy puts it up there. It makes you feel good when you see your name in that top 5 list.
Absolutely.
Right now, number 1 is Antoine Staley. Look at that. Antoine Beard. Number 2. Come on. Stop. What is this guy, bro? Manny, dude. What are you doing here?
He must be doing some juju or something, because
I'm
that guy
saying,
always
dude,
come back.
he did some voodoo. My gosh.
He was on first going to the late game on Sunday, but Antoine took the lead back again by Monday. So it's interesting, but they're flip-flopping. And Jason Sarni is also there in the top 3. That's basically running away from the back. I think you're top 5. Bobby Shaw's on the dive bar, the top 5 also too. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, but and I'm not saying, I'm not counting me. I'm looking at everybody around me. So when I say this, I want people, Bobby, they know I'm not. But look at this list of all-stars. I mean, there's all-stars all over here of Phins content creators. I mean, Antoine Staley, who I've collaborated back in the day with, awesome dude. I think he covers the Jets now, right? That's his thing now. He covers the Jets. But he's covered.
He's a Raiders fan. He's not a Jets fan. He's a Raiders fan. So
it's crazy. He's covered Miami. And he covered the Jets. And but awesome dude, man.
Yes.
Back in it. Antoine Staley, number 1, and then you got Manny, Jason Sarni. I'm there. Bobby of the dive bar. Spirit Fingers is in the house.
Gloria, yes.
Yeah, Gloria there. Steve, Josh, Adrian, Jonathan, Frank the Tank, Lou from Dave.
Thanks, we can't move. Yes.
Yeah, man, he's moving there. Look at Evans right there. Evans and what's crazy, everybody's tied. So but like you got Antoine is number 1. Then you got 2 2s because they're tied. And then I'm right there, I don't know, am I 3rd or whatever, but it says 4th, but whatever. But anyway, that's really cool. I just love it. So it's a tight race this year, man. There's no definitive, because Manny last year was way up there. You know, what I mean,
Yes.
you're like, "Guys, I'm getting up to number 2, bro." You know, it's like,
And Adrian was making a move, making a run, and then he forgot to make the picks one week, and that was.
don't do it, folks. Make your freaking picks. I'm making them. I made mine. I think I already did mine for next week. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I did. I did. I just went there.
And that's the best way to do it. You lock
That's
it
how
in,
I
and
do
you
it,
choose
brother.
the week. Yes.
What? Is that true? Nick Mangold passed away?
Oh wow.
What? He's young, dude.
Wow. One of the best centers ever.
Oh
That guy
my
played for the Seahawks and then went to
God.
the Jets and a center that along with Curtis Martin changed that franchise because when
What the
Russell got
hell,
there,
man?
he found a way to trade for he got it, I think, with free agency, and along with Curtis Martin changed that franchise. So, that guy had a lot to do with Zach Thomas getting into the Hall of Fame because he said that he was one of the best players he would play with. So
That's one thing I'll just say too.
Wow.
Yeah. Adam Schefter, Jets legend Nick Mangold passed away due to complications of kidney disease. He was 41. And here's the Jets statement. Today, we mourn the heartbreaking loss of one of the greatest to ever wear the green and white, Nick Mangold. Nick was more than a legendary center. He was the heartbeat of our offensive line for a decade and a beloved teammate whose leadership and toughness defined an era of Jets football. Off the field, Nick's wit, warmth, and unwavering loyalty made him a cherished member of our extended Jets family. From the moment he joined the organization, Nick embodied everything it meant to be a Jet. He impacted our organization and our fans and will continue to be felt for generations. On behalf of this is from owner Rudy Johnson, Johnson's family and the New York Jets organization, we offer our sincere condolences to Jenny, their children, and as well as Nick's extended family and friends who all love him. So, yeah, that is shocking news. Condolences to his family, to Jets fans. I mean, absolute Jets legend for sure. I mean, those guys, they've always, damn, that's shocking, man. That sucks. That really, he was so freaking 41 years old. God bless him and his family, man. That's, damn it. That's terrible, man.
A franchise changer. That guy changed that franchise for sure. So,
well, that's the thing, dude. And I was going to say, because you said, what he said about what he did about Zach Thomas, but it's like what Kevin Maui said about Zach Thomas too. I mean, when he was they have a lot of love for Zach Thomas, but the Jets always they know what, and you joke all around about the Jets, but the Jets know how to build an offensive line. If you think about all the guys they've had on their offensive line, the immediate years, they've got these guys. But my goodness, man, that sucks. We throw in here very quick, Raphael Cliff Kingsbury. I've seen that name a few times. Eric Bieniemy, I don't know what happened to him. I know he left the Chiefs to try to prove that he could be that he could make call play. But
he went to college.
He's fallen off the radar, man. I don't know what happened to Eric Bieniemy. Ron Rivera. I'm a huge fan of Ron Rivera. Yeah, I love Ron Rivera. I've gotten in arguments with people over Ron Rivera. My dear friend Dave Stager, who always says Ron Rivera's a horrible, or not horrible, he's a bad coach, whatever. I don't buy that one. I love Ron Rivera.
Comes of the year with the Panthers.
Yeah, 100%. Look, and you know what's crazy? He might be a cousin. I don't know, because even though my last name is Melendez, my last name was supposed to be Rivera. But my grandfather took his mother's last name. That's some Puerto Rican history for you guys. But so because you get two last names, so it was Rivera, Melendez, but it was
over here, sure.
Yeah. So, it was supposed to be Rivera. I should be Robert Rivera, but I'm Melendez. So, which is cool.
Bob Rivera.
But yeah, Bob Rivera. That's a name, bro. But it's whatever. When I create characters in games, sometimes I'll do Robert Rivera or somebody. No, but Ron Rivera. So, and he's part Puerto Rican too. So, but that's not why. But it's not why. I mean, I would love to see it. It's not why, but I would love to see it.
I think Eddie took a shot at me saying, yeah, just because of Puerto Rican. No, because basically he's one of the best coaches around.
He's one of the best, dude. And former player, he's a culture setter.
Super Bowl champion, 2-time coach of the year.
See, Sammy and I are going to be leading this train right now. That's it. We'll wear the Puerto Rican gear. We're gonna push for Ron Rivera. But it's not just that though. It's what you're saying.
No,
Hall of Fame player, 2-time Coach of the Year. Again, if you watch him, and what he's done and how players love him, that's a guy you want. Let him set the tone in the organization and move forward. Anyway, Ron Rivera, I love.
Before we move on, we've been clamoring so much about a guy. Is he too much soft on the players? Is he too much of the disciplinarian? Ron Rivera is basically both. He's a disciplinarian that knows how to deal with players and have respect for players. So he will be my short list for sure. That only means the Dolphins are not going to interview him because
I know.
But I would love to see him get a shot at
I would too, man. I would if I ever saw. He's one of those coaches that if I see his name going Ron Rivera interviewing for the Dolphins as coach, I'm gonna pop. I'd pop. Yes. I'd love to see that, dude. I legitimately would. All right, let's move on. We're an hour in. We got over 200 people tuning in right now. Wherever you're watching, we appreciate you tuning in. If you're watching after the show, thank you for tuning in. At that point, put your comments and questions below. We will respond. Let me get through the comments questions very quick. I know there were some, and we'll get to keys to victory for the Miami Dolphins today. Let's see here. Over or under Tua's 3 interception game, Sammy?
Under. If he gets 3, how many will be a third 3 interception game this season? Yep. Second in a row?
Yeah.
That would be catastrophic. So I don't expect him to. I expect him to protect the ball. I'm not saying he's going to have a great game, but I expect him to protect the ball. So I would have to go over for sure on that.
Yeah. I'm going to go under because I can't see it happening. Because I would just be shocked. But if it's over, it is over.
And if it gets there, it's on Mike McDaniel because at the second one, I'm getting him out. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah, if it gets to that point, you're done. Like I said, if it's over 3 interceptions, it's over. That's how I make it different. If it's over, it's over. Keys to victory. Sammy, what are your keys to a Miami Dolphins victory today, sir?
Every single week, the same things they don't do well. They had to find a way to stop the run. Bijan Robinson, I've been saying by Evan and so many people that he might get 300 yards today rushing to an historic game. So I don't expect that to happen. He's gonna get his yards, but I don't expect that to happen. But you have to find a way to stop the run. Like you said, Tua, he has to protect himself against that turnover, that interception in the Dolphins are driving and they have a chance, and here comes the fumble, here comes the sack that gets you back, the interception. Tua has to be aware of his surroundings. He has to find a way to protect the ball, and the coach's decisions. Mike McDaniel, last week was that he has the first down and he always loses those challenges. And last week he had the first down and he didn't challenge. Mike McDaniel has to be more aware about the game and has to make better decisions. If they find a way, of course the penalties always, but if they find a way to do the things, they might have a shot to keep this game close.
There you go, man. I just love how right away I start checking things off, but it's very simple for me. Stop the run. For the love of God, stop the run. Protect the ball. Don't turn it over. Tua, don't fumble the ball. Anybody else? Protect that football. Get the turnovers, and then run the ball. Diversify your offense. That's my 3 keys to Dolphins victory today. Short, sweet, to the point. Now we get to does it matter? Now we get to our prediction. Sammy, who wins and what's his final score?
I have a landslide. And before I said that, it's interesting that Dolphins, they have Jeff Wilson's on the practice squad, right?
Yes.
Okay. And Jalen Wright, is he back out from the injury reserve?
He is. He's active. He wasn't on the inactive list.
So exactly. So he's active along with Ollie, along with Asian. You should expect them to run the ball a lot. Having said that, I have a landslide win for the Falcons. I have this game around 38-17. The Dolphins find a way to get 2 touchdowns, probably not throwing the ball, but running the ball. I have 38-17 Falcons.
38-17 the Falcons. And I love that you brought up the point of the running backs. Jalen Wright active. Maybe that is because McDaniel did say that he's going to watch the film and he's going to make the changes, whatever changes those are going to be. On paper, there has been no changes. He benched the wrong quarterback. I'm just playing. But, even though like I said, the truth is once you bench to it, not to start a game, you can't go back At that point, there's no turning back. You could bench him during a game, but you to bench him before the game, you can't go back from that. If you're Mike McDaniel, you have to leave that for the next guy, whether that's the interim coach or whatever. So I kid, but I don't as well. But anyway, let's see if maybe the changes are the play calling. Is it let's run the ball more? Let's get Ollie the ball more. Let's get Agent outside on the slot more. Is it some trick plays? Is it Jalen Wright getting some reps? Could that be it? Could what Sammy said? Could it be more running? Maybe we'll see. But I'm with you. I am a few points ahead of you and below on certain points here, but I do have Atlanta winning this game, and it's going to be 34-21. So not too far off from your 38-17 Atlanta win. And it goes as far as this. As much as I'd love to pick Miami, you got Kirk Cousins starting. Maybe Miami's back up against the walls. They do something. I don't believe it because I don't trust the Dolphins. I don't. Even if they have the lead. Let's say it's 17-0 at halftime. I could see Sammy's 38-17 score still because I don't trust the Dolphins. I don't trust their defense. I don't trust their offense. Every time I listen to Tua talk, I cringe now more than anything. Now he can't see past offensive defensive linemen. That's the latest excuse. Today will be because he has the shits if they lose. I mean, it's just I just do not trust the Miami Dolphins anymore. And I hope, and Sammy, because you and I both picking the Atlanta win, maybe maybe the Dolphins win today because of that. And we'll be talking about it later. What went right? Because it's not about, this is it. We're turning the corner. We're going to win all the games now. We're going 11-6. It's not that. It's who stepped up. Who's the future? What guy stepped up that we can look forward to next season? If Ollie Gordon has a 100-yard plus game, which more likely won't because he doesn't get enough touches or whatever, Devon H has a 200-yard game, maybe, then we could talk about that's the positive point of it. But I have Atlanta winning. Let's see if anybody has in the comments.
I have along that line of him not looking or being able to look over the line. When the Dolphins were winning, he made that comment like I remember saying he could not sometimes look at the line. I'm kind of surprised that so many conspiracy theories along the Dolphins line that he says one week that players are late to meetings. It has been said that Waddle is one of the ones that have been late, and now this week he didn't see him because he could not look over the line, and that's why he only got one catch. And I'm not trying to start something up, but with so many conspiracy theories, I'm kind of curious that no one said, like that Brian Windhorst thing. What happened was that, he's mad and Watt is mad at him because he called him out for being late. And that's why he didn't see him and only got one catch. So I'm just trying to start something here up, but I'm surprised nobody's brought it. So I have to be the one who brought it up. So because so many times before he said you cannot look over the line but we were winning and we were scoring 35, 70 points, nobody cared. So I'm kind of curious, it's kind of weird. Having said that, I still don't expect Water to get traded. But and now reports about teammates not liking Tua and stuff. I don't know. It's getting weird in the Dolphins locker room for sure.
It's getting very weird in Dolphins land, man. But hey, we're 34 minutes away from game time. We appreciate everybody watching here on the Phins Talk pregame show. We missed Finn Stanza today, but I think we had a great show, had a fun show. Me and Finn, Sammy.
Sammy, that's why the show. That's why the show has been an hour because Fistanza would have got the all of 5 minutes.
We had 2 hours over.
How about time do you feel about talking about Mike Daniel? Sorry, Evan.
Yeah, that's right. Quick, easy, to the point. Sammy, what do you got going on today, my man? Will you be on the Finn's Faithful pod post game?
I will be in the Finn's Faithful pod. It will be interesting if Frank the Tank shows up for another rant to start the show. Those are usually a lot of fun. Hopefully, those Dolphins surprise again and winning today it will be glorious because again the Dolphins need a win. And on Tuesday on Fins TV, we were talking about if Mike McDaniel has a escape route. If Mike McDaniel can basically go win or lose today to Steven Ross and say, like I said before, I got the job the way you wanted me to. I got different defensive coordinator you wanted me to. I got the quarterback you wanted me to, and I tried to face them. But it's on you, not on me, because I did everything I could with what you gave me. So please let me stay. So we're gonna talk a little bit if Mike McDaniel has escape route with Steven Ross at the Dolphins.
There you go. So the catch Finn Sammy on the Finn's Faithful podcast post-game show immediately after the game. They will be live, and then you could catch the Phins Talk post-game show tonight at 8 o'clock Eastern time with Constanza and myself and whomever would love to join. We usually do that. And then, of course, catch Phins TV on Tuesday nights. Like you said, you'll be talking about that. And, of course, hopefully talking about a win. We'll see. We appreciate everybody who's tuned in. DSG, Scotty, Raphael, Aquavision, CCRR, who changes his banner every time the Dolphins play. Russ.
Yes.
Let's see. Make sure I'm not missing anybody here. Happy Wolverine, Anthony Manzano, Zach. And again, condolences to the Nick Mangold's family and the Jets fan base and organization. Nick Mango passing away at the young age of 41. Sad out of there. But anyway, yes, don't forget, enjoy the game.
Pregame show on Thursday. People
There's
no VCU Plus because we're gonna have it.
That's right. Thursday night, the Dolphins take on the Baltimore Ravens. That means that Thursday night, 6:30 Eastern time, the Phins Talk pregame show will be live on Thursday night in place of Phins TV. Sammy, Eddie, Finstanza, myself, a little later on, will be in there after I get home from work. But the guys will be here to talk Baltimore, Miami. So make sure you guys check that out. Like and subscribe. Hit the notifications bell to tune in. Again, you catch Sammy again immediately after the game on Finn's Faithful podcast with Jason Sarney and George and company over there. Maybe Frank the Tank, Barstool. And, of course, catch me in Finstanza later on this evening on the postgame show here on FTSN. Dolphin fans, I know it's hard. We're 1-6, possibly 1-7, God forbid. Possibly 1-7, but I know it's hard. But no matter what, do me a favor. Like, share, subscribe. Most importantly, as always, Dolphin fans, fins up. See you guys after the game.